this season, and the Fever have now moved just a game and a half behind third place Phoenix.
On the evening of July 30th, 2025, inside the electrifying Gainbridge Fieldhouse, the air was thick with anticipation as the Indiana Fever prepared to host the Phoenix Mercury in a game that promised not just excitement, but a showcase of contrasting eras, evolving talent, and the defining energy of a WNBA season nearing its climax. The Fever, on a mission to reclaim their place among the league's elite after years of rebuilding, entered the court with the swagger and cohesion of a unit that believed in itself. Driven by the generational brilliance of Caitlin Clark, the emerging dominance of Aaliyah Boston, and the unwavering commitment of players like Kelsey Mitchell, Nolissa Smith, and Erica Wheeler, on the other end stood the Phoenix Mercury, a franchise steeped in championship tradition, but currently navigating a turbulent season, led by the ageless Diana Taurasi, the towering presence of Brittany Griner, and the fiery explosiveness of Talia Copper. This was more than a regular season clash, it was a test of identity, resilience, and chemistry under pressure. From the very first possession, the tone was set by Clark, who wasted no time asserting herself. Just seconds into the game, she pulled up from well beyond the arc and drained a three-pointer that sent the crowd into immediate rapture. That moment wasn't just a shot, it was a message. The Fever were here to dominate. Clark's floor generalship was evident throughout the first quarter as she orchestrated the offense with precision, dishing out assists to Boston on the block, kicking out to Mitchell on the wings, and finding Smith on the break. Yet the Mercury were not passive observers. They responded with veteran poise and championship pedigree. Taurasi, despite being in the twilight of her career, showcased her signature range with back-to-back threes, reminding everyone that her basketball IQ and shooting mechanics remained untouched by time. Griner anchored the post, using her length and strength to alter shots, grab rebounds, and score over defenders with soft touches near the rim. The first quarter was an exchange of haymakers, both teams landing big blows, but neither flinching. By the time the horn sounded, the Fever held a narrow 22-20 lead, and the crowd, sellout fueled by Clark's star power, could sense they were witnessing something special. The second quarter brought even more drama. Phoenix tightened up, defensively, using zone coverages to try to neutralize Clark's pick-and-roll game with Boston. For a few possessions, it worked, forcing turnovers and allowing the Mercury to push the pace. Copper slashed through the lane with urgency, drawing fouls and converting from the free throw line. Natasha Cloud, instrumental in Phoenix's mid-season turnaround, provided gritty defense and hustle plays, diving for loose balls and making the extra pass. Yet Indiana's depth began to show. Victoria Vivians and Christy Wallace came off the bench to provide key minutes, spacing the floor and playing hard-nosed defense. Wallace, in particular, hit a crucial corner three off a Clark no-look pass. That sparked a 10-2 run. That run was punctuated by another highlight from Clark, this time a crossover step-back three from just inside the Fever logo, followed by a stare into the courtside camera that will no doubt live on in WNBA highlight reels for years to come. By halftime, the Fever led 46-42, and the crowd gave them a standing ovation as they jogged to the locker room. Inside that locker room, Coach Christy Sides reminded her team that Phoenix wasn't going to fade, they had to elevate even further. She emphasized movement without the ball, defensive rotations, and winning the hustle categories. Meanwhile, in the Mercury locker room, head coach Nate Tibbetts challenged his players to bring physicality and trust each other's instincts. The third quarter would be pivotal, and pivotal it was. Indiana came out with renewed energy. Clark once again led the charge, but it was Boston who truly dominated this stretch. She scored 3 straight buckets to start the quarter one, a powerful drop-step move, another off a pick-and-pop with Mitchell, and the third a transition dunk attempt. That drew a hard foul from Griner. Boston hit both free throws and glared back defiantly, showing her evolution into a team leader. On the defensive end, Smith and Wheeler combined to harass Copper and Taurasi, creating fast break opportunities that turned into easy points. Clark began to push the tempo, knowing Phoenix's veterans couldn't run with her. She found Mitchell in rhythm for multiple mid-range jumpers, and also hit Smith in stride for an and-one layup that blew the roof off the arena. Indiana's run swelled to 18-4, giving them a 16-point cushion. Yet, as they've done all season, the Mercury refused to go quietly. The final 2 minutes of the third saw Griner re-established herself inside, drawing fouls and converting with efficiency. Taurasi hit a long-range three at the buzzer, to cut the lead to 72-62. The momentum had slightly shifted. The fourth quarter was all about mental toughness. Phoenix opened with intensity. Copper hit a tough floater. Then Griner scored on a high-low feed from Cloud. The Fever turned it over on consecutive possessions, allowing Phoenix to get within 5 points with 7 minutes left. Timeout Fever. The crowd, momentarily nervous, held its collective breath. But out of the timeout, Clark took over again. She hit a cold-blooded three, after creating space with a killer crossover. Then, after forcing a turnover on the other end, she whipped a behind-the-back assist to Mitchell in transition, pushing the lead back to 10. The Fever's defense locked in from there. Boston altered everything inside. Vivian's tipped passes, and Wheeler fought over every screen. The Mercury tried one last push. Taurasi hit another deep three, and Griner scored off a missed free throw with under 2 minutes to go, but it wasn't enough. Clark sealed the game at the line, hitting 4 straight free throws, and Boston grabbed the final rebound as the buzzer sounded. Final score: Indiana Fever 88, Phoenix Mercury 8.
Fevers storm into the desert and win their first game against a team over 500.
As the final buzzer echoed through Gainbridge Fieldhouse and the scoreboard confirmed Indiana Fever's hard-fought 88-81 victory over the Phoenix Mercury. The roar of the home crowd was thunderous, a mixture of joy, pride, and validation. Fans stood to their feet, many waving homemade signs adorned with Caitlin Clark's name, some in Boston's number 7 jerseys, while others simply cheered in awe of the basketball spectacle they had just witnessed. What made this game more than just a win was its significance, another chapter in Indiana's revival, and a measuring stick for how far they had come since the season's rocky beginning. The team, which had struggled with cohesion in early games due to roster turnover and the growing pains of integrating young stars, now played like a well-oiled unit with unified purpose. As the players huddled at center court for the customary post-game wave to the fans, the joy on their faces was evident. Clark, who finished the night with a jaw-dropping stat line of 29 points, 10 assists, and 4 steals, was immediately swarmed by reporters, camera crews, and broadcasters eager to capture her words. But before she spoke to the media, she took a moment to embrace her teammates one by one, a testament to her growing leadership and humility, traits that had endeared her to the Indiana fanbase and helped elevate the team's chemistry on and off the court. "It wasn't just me tonight," she told ESPN's Holly Rowe courtside. "This was a team win. Aaliyah was a monster inside. Kelsey was clutch. Our bench gave us life. I'm just lucky to be part